Sterk mee.
Dat is boa sterk. Sure.
I'm gonna see dat jullie zo leuk.
And cut.
Back in it.
Back in it. Upon arriving to Da Nang, we had quite an interesting surprise that hit us. We didn't expect Da Nang to be as developed city as when we arrived there. Well, I don't know what we thought because it is the third biggest city in Vietnam, but it was totally different from what we expected.
So just a quick tip, I think when you're traveling, rather than only Googling and looking at all of the marketing pictures, do a Google Street View where you can actually see what the surrounding area looks like. Because sometimes, you know, when you see a picture, and it can be totally accurate, it can be 100% what that area looks like, but when you turn around, the entire area looks different, good or bad. We arrived in Da Nang and it is loud.
It's actually louder for me than Ho Chi Minh, which we'll do a video on. Very noisy. I don't know if it was just because we were there over the celebration period, but very noisy, but you kind of get used to it.
The city is alive and it almost never sleeps. The coffee here is strong, and I will probably mourn an egg coffee for the rest of my life, or I'm gonna die trying to figure out how to make one, because it is the best coffee I have tried in my life so far.
For me, they love their plastic. Plastic for plastic for plastic. It's something I really had to get used to. Another thing is the fruit is weird. I think we'll probably be able to do 6 videos of Southeast Asian fruit.
Another thing was the nightlife is incredibly vibrant, and that was a thing we really thoroughly enjoyed. Going out, really nice. I would just say watch out for certain tourist traps with the night markets, because street food is really incredibly affordable. A couple of weird things for me was obviously, and I think you've seen a million videos on this, crossing the street in Da Nang and crossing a street in Vietnam. I think the first 4 days is a bit intense because you kind of just have to go with the flow and trust that they see you. Really trust in your heart that you're not gonna die.
Trust in your heart that they're not having a bad day.
Yes. And the other thing was, it's such a silly thing, but for me was figuring out how the bathtub works. So, there you have it.
The number one thing I learned from Vietnam is you shouldn't be shy in asking for help or asking for what is the best meal that they have at the restaurant, because I'd say 70-30 split, it'll work out great.
Da Nang was really cost effective. It was a great coastal city. You can really walk to the beach, walk to a more buzzing city area. We're not really people who club, but I am sure there is places where you can go and do that. So we had a brief day trip out to Hoi An, and I would really suggest, if you do have the time, maybe do a 2-day trip, more in the little town, and do the nightlife, which is beautiful with all of the little lanterns that they put on the water. And maybe the second day you can do the beaches.
And put on your bartering shoes when you get there. Anywhere when you're going to a touristy area in Vietnam, be ready to barter. Don't go crazy, of course, because you also need to respect the locals and understand that they work crazy hours. The amount of hours I think that people in Vietnam work, they're very hardworking people, is crazy. I remember one morning at 6, I was just going to go for a walk, and the lady's shop was still open. She was cleaning from working the night before. Also a cool, powerful hack that you can use in Vietnam that I think we almost realized it too late. In the smaller cities like Da Nang or Quy Nhon, the magical passages that you see on the side of the road as you're walking past them, walk through there. It seems a little bit scary, but it is I think that's where you get your authentic cultural experience.
Yeah, it's these like really small little streets just in between. It's kind of like alleyways, but it cuts your walking distance by half sometimes. If you just go through the alleyways, then you can really walk through the center of a block of apartments and get to your destination quicker.
Just in summary from me for Da Nang, if you are a nature lover, I would pass this one because me and Simone both, we love nature and love conservation, and I don't think Da Nang and most of Vietnam is quite there yet.
From there, we took the train down to Quy Nhon. And we spent a couple of days in that city or town. And I think Quy Nhon by far was my favorite destination in Vietnam. It was just a lot more slow paced, less noisy.
Wonderful walkways or broadways that you can walk on that were just bordering onto the beach or that led out onto the beach. Very good seafood, very good views as well.
Yeah, I think Quy Nhon was kind of just a pause for us where we had a nice beach day, and just walked around town eating fruit again.
And swimming in the ocean. It was the first time you swam in the ocean since our accident.
Yes.
Had my first pig intestines and fermented shrimp sauce. Was rough. Was rough. My palate is not developed enough for that yet. But the other things are quite lekker. Yeah. Anyway.
Cool.
Look, Jake. See you like it? Đây vẫn lít phượt cái gì?
Dùng tôi vòng tạp.
Yes, like.
Okay.